Tuesday. Welcome to our Eyes That Wow makeup class.
No.
So excited to have y'all on. Oops, sorry if I just asked someone to unmute. I was just trying to get everybody in and muted, but go ahead and put me in the spotlight. There we go. All righty. Well, let's start lighting up that chat as people start coming in. I would love to know where you're from in the United States because we have women all over the US. And so we love to hear where you're from and who invited you. So go ahead and put that in the chat. And tonight we have some really fun giveaways. We have some product giveaways. We also have a grand giveaway of you're going to be getting a really amazing. I just opened it. Oh, I think someone has me on replay. There we go. Shimmer eyeshadow stick. I had to literally open one because I just used all mine. We're going to give away one eyeshadow color of your choice, and we're going to give away some mascara. So that's going to be a whole kit, but all kinds of fun stuff. So let's see here. Mississippi. We have Texas. We have Michigan. We have Wisconsin. We have Texas. We have Denver. Welcome all my awesome guests who popped on. California, Orlando, Fort Worth, Palmdale, California, Arizona. Oh my gosh. Okay. We are spanning all over north, south, east, west. I absolutely love it. Keep putting it in the chat. We're going to go ahead and pull up something to text to. And you guys, this is really important because a lot of our girls are, including myself, is doing a face challenge this month. And for you being on here, you count as one of our 30 faces that we want to get in front of and we get to connect with. And so when you make sure to fill out this form, of course, you're going to get the prizes. Of course, you're going to get some really special, you're going to fill out all of them because you're going to get some special images that are going to help you with tones of what colors are cool or warm. So you have like a little cheat sheet with eyeshadow, but it's going to get you in for our main entry prizes. So let's go ahead. We're going to pull that up of a word to text for you guys. And then that's going to, in about 60 seconds, give you a form that you're going to fill out. So you're going to want to text the word summer, no emojis, no parentheses, just the word summer. And consultants and guests, you can both do this. And it's going to be to the 619-202-8225. Okay. And so that's going to do a couple of things. That's going to help count as a guest here for your consultant for some of her big goals that she has going on this month. It's going to help you to get all the specials and little extra fun pictures of makeup and stuff. That's going to be your cheat sheet. And it's going to get you entered into the main prize giveaway for our grand giveaway at the end. So go ahead and do it. You only need to text it once. Okay. And we'll make sure to put that in the chat if you didn't catch it. So yay. All right. Well, as we're getting started too, is we're going to go into some eyeshadow techniques to lift the eye, to look younger, to maybe get out of what you've been doing for years and years and years. Blow up the chat. Tell me what is the biggest thing that you have an issue with when it comes to doing your eyeshadow. Have you been the one that's like, girl, I've been doing the same colors and the same placement, and I've never even considered moving it? Are you the girl who's like, I don't know what colors to do? Are you like blending just freaks me out? Like, it's just crazy. Are you scared of eyeliner? Are you loving your eyeshadow, but it's kind of fun to always learn a new technique and switch it up? I'm loving this. I'm just giving you ideas, but whatever comes to mind for you. Eyeshadow creasing after a few hours. That's a great one, Alex. Droopy eyelids, right? What to do with that hoodie droopy eyelid, or as we get older, what do we do with that excess skin of placement? Bethany, same colors. So she's like, I'm using the same thing and it's not lasting all day. Lulu's feeling the same. How to get to day versus night look. Love that. Perfect. I do the exact same thing, different colors or shades every time though. Scared of blush. Okay. Love it. I'm a makeup dummy. Love it. Okay. So what I love today that I'm going to show you is just some really easy techniques. We're not trying to do some crazy eyeshadow look. We're trying to do things that are going to accentuate your features, make you look younger, but still be easy with whatever colors. And we're going to help you with the right tones. I need to get away from putting white or light eyeshadow from lash to brow. Wow, Gina, that's a good one to bring up. Where does anyone else have done that? Where you're like, let me first put a whole base of just a whole light color over my whole eyelid first, All right, lots of good things to work with. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull from my eyeshadow thing here. And we're going to start with this first little tip. And this first tip here is going to be, well, first of all, I'm scared for myself. I'm going to do wrong way on this eye and right way on this eye, and it always trips me up. So, Melissa, I'm talking to you right now so we don't forget prizes. But the first thing that I'm going to do, and then we'll give away our first prize, is just showing a crease technique. And then I'm going to give ourselves a pause, and then I'll do a couple more steps. Okay. That's just me creating accountability that you all get your prizes. All right. So I've made a cool tone eyeshadow little bundle for myself to use with you guys today versus using a warm tone one. You guys see the difference there? What a difference. Even look next to my skin. Look how this just looks different versus this. It actually changes how it just looks and flows with my skin. So we also want to make sure you're in the right colors. All right, so I'm going to be working out of the cooler tone one. We'll get more into that a little bit later of what to do. So let's do wrong first. Wrong on this side. All right, so first we're going to start creating a crease. And I like to, when I'm creating a crease, use a really neutral color like this. Hazelnut's awesome. Anybody can use it, warm or cool. And this is just going to create a base, no matter if you're doing it wrong or right, because it's very close to skin tone, and it's really going to help you to blend other colors, okay? So tell me if you are someone who has done this. You are going into your crease really low, right in here where that actual crease is. You're right down in here. We're pushing it into your crease. We're doing a really rounded effect. This is the wrong. This is not necessarily wrong. We're not going to say wrong or right, but that's what we do, right? And we lose the coloring because our eye is drooping. It gets caught into this crease, especially if you have a hooded eye and you've just kind of smushed it all in there, okay? And see how it just already, even compared to this eye with no eyeshadow, closed that eye down. Can you already see a difference just with that? Okay. All right. So we're going to have a new saying, you guys. Uncomfortably high to lift the eye. Say it with me. Uncomfortably high to lift the eye. So I'm gonna actually switch brushes because I know a lot of people are going into this all over eyeshadow brush and they'll try to use it for everything. That's why I used it over here in this crease. I'm switching over into our blending brush here. It's going to be a little bit of a softer blend. I'm going to go into that same color. I'm going to look dead up. I'm not going to do anything like this where I'm going up. I'm not going to lift my eyelid because that's going to go down. Uncomfortably high, looking straight up. And I'm going to go up above the crease in here, okay? So I'm going to keep dipping because I know this color is a little bit close to skin tone. But we're lifting right here so that we're lifting up. And do you already see a difference with just that of how this closes the eye down and this lifts the eye open just in one color in your crease placement? And see how with this blending brush, we can continue to build this color in here. And it's still going to make it look soft versus see the harsh line in here with using that brush. Okay, so that is just going to already be a big difference right there. So what's our new saying? Uncomfortably high to lift the eye. All right, let's give away our first prize giveaway, and then we'll go into another piece that probably everyone is doing as well. Okay, so we're going to pull up that wheel, and we're going to give away a full-size product, a guest or consultant. Ooh, look at you guys filling that out. Awesome. Lulu, congratulations. Remind me, Lulu, if you are a guest or consultant. I think you are a guest, and so we'll get you some full-size product to choose from. Can't wait. All right, so our next one, I'm keeping notes here so I don't get lost and I can give you easy, quick tips. So the next one is has done this? Again, we're going to just use this all over eyeshadow brush because I know most people are just grabbing, oh, consultant. We're going to get you a, you can use a product, or if you want a business tool, Lulu, let us know. So we're going to stay in this one because I know everyone gravitates towards this kind of brush. I'm going to clean it off on my pants here. You should see my pants when I do my makeup. But I know that sometimes we want to grab towards a darker color and you want to go in your crease like a little V right in here. Who is doing their little darker color in a V right down in this area if you want to deepen that color? And you just kind of, it's like a C or a V right there. I love this one. You guys, I do too, because our muscle memory does it sometimes where you're like, I don't know, I just been doing it the same way, right? Okay. So that's old way. We're saying goodbye. We're saying goodbye. And what we're going to do instead is we're going to take this blendy brush here. We're going to take the tip of the brush, okay? And we're going to dip into this little deeper, darker color. I'm going to flick off any excess. We're going to go from the corner of our eye out towards our arch of the eyebrow like this, flicking it away, blending it so it doesn't look crazy, and pulling up. So forever, we don't want to go out. We don't want to go down. I want you to see where the end of your eyebrow goes and the outside of the eye corner, and see that line there? We're following it from here and we're pushing it out, okay? Now, if you want to see it a little deeper, let me just dig into a little bit of a deeper color just in case. We'll even do a little bit of Merlot just in case. If you want to see this even a little bit darker, that will just blend. If we're switching tonight and see, we're just flicking with this blending brush out of this corner. See how that's lifting the eye in that area like that. Now see how there's like right in there, I'm just going to clean it a little bit. If we need to clean up, if we need to blend everything, and I'm just going to blend that into there. And so see how that's already lifting this up versus this really bringing this down. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do, and then we'll give away another prize, is we're going to say goodbye to shimmer on the lid.
Can you move this over here?
Oh, let me go. Well, Melissa, you'll take care of it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the same brush for everything on this eye, right? And we're going to clean it off. And who is still doing, I have to actually go into my eyeshadow palette to make this wrong. Who is still using a shimmer eyeshadow for your lid? I'm not against shimmer, but who's doing, or not your lid, I'm sorry, your brow bone, right up in here. Okay, what that does, I watched a video on this and she said, it basically makes this area look protruding. She said you get a sausage right there, basically, where it's like all your eye goes to this area. And now the focus is here. The eye is closed down versus lifting and looking younger. So we're, instead of doing the shimmer, see that shimmer? We're going to do a matte color up here just to slightly blend and lift and just kind of tone down a little bit of that crease and just kind of give it a little bit of lightness, and see how it just kind of lifts and brings everything together versus protrude over here, and makes it almost, if we are starting to get that fattier, droopier eyelid, it's going to even look bigger in that area. Okay. Now, if we want to do some shimmer on the lid, where the appropriate place that we could do it would be is maybe taking, look at this beautiful rose gold color. And I am going to use the all over eyeshadow brush in this case. And I'm going to put it all over the lid, or this brush right there. And I'm just going to wiggle it back and forth in the middle of my eye in here to bring the light in here. And look how pretty that is, and opens the whole eye and makes it bigger. Okay, you can even just bring a little bit right in here. So we're gonna do shimmer and a nice light color on that lid. Okay, so we can still play with shimmer. Now you could also even play with shimmer with your eyeshadow sticks, where you could even go over here in the middle as well if we want a little bit more shimmer and a little bit more pop. Maybe it's nighttime, and we could blend even that out just to give it even a little bit more glow and a little bit more fun right there in the middle. All right, so let me cover this for a second, and then we're going to do some underneath techniques as well of where to do stuff. But I can't see without my glasses on out of this eye, so who knows what you're seeing over here, okay? So look at this eye, all right? How are we feeling about that versus this eye? Do we notice a difference in eyeshadow technique? We're going to get a little crazy. How would you do a smoky eye? You would just build on darker colors in the same way, Lulu. So if I wanted to build on this for nighttime, I would just do deeper colors in this corner, same placement, same idea, same techniques, but maybe I'm just going to go a lot darker of layering. Okay. So now let's give away a prize, and then I'm going to show you some underneath and some eyeliner techniques as well. Okay. So we're going to give away one more prize. And a smoky eye, I guess everyone has a different view of what a smoky eye is. Some people like a smoky eye because it's darker. Some people mean because what you're going to do underneath. Sometimes we'll still have to drop the smoky eye. Maybe we need to do more lighter colors depending on our tones, because it could also making us look darker and drowned it out. But again, you can just darken everything up that I just did. So go ahead, let's spin that wheel. Olivia Chavez, so excited for you. All right, congratulations. Okay, Olivia, remind us, are you a consultant or a guest? And that way we know what to get you as far as product or maybe a consultant prize. So go ahead and do that. And then, sorry, everything is set to passwords with my child, and he is not going to leave me alone until it got fixed. Okay. All right. So consultant. Awesome. We will get you a consultant prize. All right. So what about the underneath? So I like to do eyeshadow underneath to also give balance. Also could use it to smoke it up if we are going darker for evening. And so if we're just doing this daytime look right now, I'm going to take this smudger brush. It's actually pretty tiny when I'm not close to the camera. Let me show you in comparison to the all over brush that I was using. Very little bitty and comes to that tip right in there. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to dip it into our hazelnut. And I'm going to go, I had a little bit of mascara under here because I was doing an appointment before. But I'm just going to go underneath. But I'm going to stop about right 3/4 of the way in. Let me show you why on this one. Let's go all the way in on this. So this keeps that illusion of my eye still being lifted and open, where this, especially for my personal eye shape, is closing it down. It's going to make it look smaller. We can still give depth underneath. I'm going to even go in with a little bit of that darker color. And I'm going to focus that only about 1/3 to 1/4 of the way now in the crease to give it a little bit of depth, keeping this area lighter, but this area darker. Okay. So look, even if I went in darker with this, I know sometimes if we're trying to do that smoky eye and I went even underneath here, all the way darker, it's actually making me look more tired. This eye actually has more of a glitter and blue in it than this one. I don't know if you can like see that with the lighting. It's completely changing how open and awake that the eye looks. So that's some things that you could do. How do we know colors favor us? I'm going to show you guys how to do that. That will work with hooded eyes. Underneath doesn't matter as much with a hooded eye. Hooded eye is going to matter more here. That's why especially you're just going to want to get tight to a lash line, and especially with a hooded or an almond eye, we want to really stick to this other corner versus bringing it all the way in. Good questions. Good questions. Okay. Eyeliner. Let me show you that. I don't know why I could not find in all the bags, you guys. I just got back from seminar. And so I bring all the makeup with me and it was really hard. So I'm just going to show you using an eyeshadow angle brush today, just more so technique of angling that you want to do with something. because apparently I couldn't find my black eyeliner right now. I could have opened one, but here we are. Okay, so what I was actually doing with my roommate at seminar is I was watching her do her makeup, and I said, you are making your eyeliner go down, which is bringing your whole eye down. So what I watched her do is take it and have the line go out, come down this way. And what that did, it's very slight, but because it's pointing down, it's going to bring the whole eye down. Okay, let me show you the difference. Also, I just moved. The other thing that she was doing, calling her out right now, which is not nice, is she would go, which most people do, all the way across, all the way down into this inner corner. Again, also with some people's eye shape or eye watering, that will also sometimes create a mess here for you. And then it looks even worse when it's down here. And sometimes it's just darkening that whole area. Okay. So that's one way of doing eyeliner. Let me show you another way. Remember that technique where we were using the outer corner and we're using the tip tail of our eyebrow? So we're going to start right here at your outer corner. I had to even show her with my arm. And I said, look at my arm of how my hand, your palm is facing you. Have your palm facing you. Have your eyeliner, if it's the tip part of it, facing this way. I don't know how to do that, but it's facing my right shoulder. I know this is like really technical, but if you're holding it wrong, your whole muscle memory starts wrong. So then I'm right here at the tip like this, and I'm going to go right up like that. And I'm going towards that area of the end of my brow. Now, with liquid eyeliner that I was doing, because I don't do it all the time, but I did it while I was there, I'll sometimes start where I want it to end. And then I'll kind of come in here and bring that wing. If you are creating a wing, if you're not creating a wing, still take the little flick end in this direction versus down this way. Okay. And so after that, we're then going to pull it in like this. And then, whoop, I touched it there. Sorry, it's a little hard for me to talk while I do eyeliner. And notice I'm getting really tight to the line and I'm stopping right about here. Okay, so this inner corner right there, I'm going to leave away. And this is going to keep that eye more open. It's going to keep this area in here lighter, and it's going to be pulling everything up versus everything down. Now, if we don't want this as intense, again, this would be, you could also just kind of blend this out if you wanted to, and it's still creating that illusion of going up. If you were to do a wing, if you were to do an eyeliner, again, if you're just wanting to do liner across, just make sure it's not coming out to the edge like this, and just any little bit is just flicking up so slightly that its flick just ends that way. Okay, so that's a little bit with eyeliner. Again, let's kind of close this and show a difference. Do we look more lifted? Do you see the difference of how much that brings your eye down? Angelina, do you have a question in the chat that we can go over? Let me know. Did I miss anything in the chat too so far before we give away another prize? Melissa, it's hard for me to look and apply at the same time. I don't know if I did. And also so far, what's the biggest thing that you're like, oh, that's one thing that I need to change? That's one thing. Jeannie said all of it. All of it. Okay.
Asked about what about for hooded eyes?
Which part for hooded eyes?
Assuming she's probably meaning eyeliner because you just did the eyeliner.
Okay. For hooded eyes, Tristan, I cannot see. Sorry, my child will not. I've been gone for 5 days and he wants all of my attention. Okay, so for hooded eyes, this actually happened with her. And so with my roommate. And so what was happening is her skin, you guys, was coming over that part. So when I did the littlest, tiniest, faintest line, as soon as she like adjusted to have how she was going to look normally, it disappeared. So we did have to go a little bit longer. Okay. Adjusting for that. It's very important too that we're not pulling the eye with the hooded eye because you're moving it in a way that it's never going to sit. So what this woman said, and excuse my French, she said, when even we were doing that crease, maybe when you're doing the eyeliner, you have to have the RBF face because that's how everybody's going to look at you. And then you're going to apply deadpan staring into your mirror without doing these things because that's how people will see you. Okay. So we did that, and you might just have to adjust through some creases and folds. And I told her this takes practice. So like, this is where, if we're not rushing, because I was about to watch her do this before we were about to go to awards night. And I was like, we aren't messing with the liquid eyeliner when we have 5 minutes to leave. We're not doing that right now. I said, give it to me. I'll do it for you. We can practice this later. So I find that people get frustrated because they're practicing it before a big event versus just being in your bathroom and getting comfortable with it before you're actually going to do it. Okay. So awesome. All right. So let's give away, where are we at with prizes? I really didn't think the liner would make that big of a difference, but it totally does. It makes a dramatic difference. I could even make this one a little bit crazier because I was just trying to show how some people do real liner. They'll even do their wing, and everyone's eyes are different. They'll do it straight out also like that if they do a wing sometimes. And then that also, it just doesn't lift the eye. I used to do it like that a lot. I see pictures of it and I'm actually mortified. Okay. So
We've done 2 so far, so this will be the 3rd one.
Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and give away another prize. Jennifer Mark, she's a consultant. Do you want some products, Jennifer, or do you want something for a consultant prize? Okay, awesome. Congratulations. All right, well, let's show you the difference between warm and cool, right? That was a big question of how do we know? So first we need to know which one you want to be in before we even look at the colors of warm and cool. And so, oops, I'm freezing here. Okay, so with that, warm. You are a warm undertone. If when you go out into the sun, you deepen, nothing happens, you just get darker. That is a warmer undertone. You are a cooler undertone if when you go out into the sun, you burn and it either goes translucently light again, you peel, and it never builds into a tan. You just kind of stay that same level of darkness all year. You don't have the ability to get darker. That's going to be more of a cool undertone. You are more of a neutral undertone. If you might burn, and then a couple days later, it turns into a tan. Or you can also be the person that can wear gold or silver jewelry. Okay, another thing with jewelry, you're a warm undertone if you really tend to just look better in gold. You feel like you light up, you look vibrant, you look healthy. If you can wear only silver jewelry, then you're a cool undertone. Okay, so those are just a couple tips. So right now, what I want you to focus on, if you are in a neutral category, because we're going to go more right now, warm versus cool. If you're neutral, but you have the ability to eventually tan, and during summer, you'll get darker and darker. Or do you have the tendency that you'll burn a lot more in that beginning process? And it's just really hard and you just never get crazy dark and you just always kind of have a pinkish undertone in you. So that would be neutral leaning cool versus neutral leaning warm. So that's going to help you kind of differentiate. Like I could probably dip into both of these colors, but probably my best ones are these ones over here. Just being with you, Jeannie, 100% you can wear warm undertones. Like I just saw the whole thing happen myself. So yes. Okay. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and pull up this picture. And I have got all of our eyeshadows figured out for you in a cheat sheet so you can make your own palette and you don't have to think about it. Okay. So look over here. We have a cool, neutral, and warm. Now, what these neutral colors that I love, they're neutral enough that if you love them, they can mix in with any of these other palettes and they're going to look great. So if you are more of our cool undertones, you're going to be leaning towards more of these pinks, these mauves, plum, you know, they're going to have this blue, purple undertone. They're going to look soft. They're going to maybe be just like in these hues. You can see a difference even on the screen, right? You like can obviously see it with your eye of like, oh yeah, those look a cooler tone. I just did cooler tones on my eyes. Then we have these neutrals. They can really go either way. They're not too warm. They're not too cool. And then we have the warm tones. Okay, these are leaning towards these more golden, peach, coppery, bricky, like shiny penny is literally like the color of a penny. Okay, so we are looking towards more of those. So if you are like making a warm palette, I would be like, oh my gosh, you for sure need biscotti because that's just your lightest neutral color. So that way you can have that lid color up there. You pick your shimmer that you love. You're probably going to want Cinnabar or Espresso for your deeper color. And then like no one can go wrong with hazelnut. That's just like a great blender. So as you're making a palette and you're looking at these, I would be like, what are my two favorite mattes? And what are my two favorite shimmers? Now you can get all of them, okay? But if we're focusing on these little 4-piece palettes, if you're just like, I just want a really easy eye look and I'm just using 4 colors, then I would go, what are 2 matte and 2 shimmers that I would maybe choose from, okay? Now, if you are doing these cool undertones here, for sure Blossom is going to also, that's going to be what I did on my lid today. It looks a little darker in the picture. That is going to be your best, lightest matte color that's going to go up on that brow bone. So honestly, to me, everybody needs a Blossom in their life if you're a cool undertone. After that, you get to choose. You could go Dusty Rose, which is more of a pinky, or you could go Hazelnut for your lighter mid-tone color. That would be a perfect staple for you, for our cool undertone girlies. For your darker color, if you want a darker matte, you could go Merlot. That was what I just did just now. I'll show you on the screen really quick. This is Merlot. It's almost like this deep purple. This is Espresso, more of a deep brown. Okay, so you could do that. And then, yeah, and then you could do a shimmer. I did rose gold on my lid today, if that helps anybody. So you could pick a shimmer in there. So that's kind of fun. So we could help you as the beauty consultant for you though, help really choose these eyeshadows, help build it for you, swatch more for you, send you closer colors. But this is going to at least give you that jump start. So when you're looking at all of our colors in the catalog, you're not like, but which one is the best ones for me? Okay. So let me see here if I missed anything. Can the Cinnabar go into the cool section? In my opinion, let me show it to you. This is Cinnabar. She's a warm lady. And every time I wear Cinnabar, it goes very red on a cool undertone. And let me show you the comparison color here. Look at Espresso. Do you see how much more cooler undertone that is of a brown? Now, granted, this is a lot darker, but that is a big difference of how this is going to look on my skin versus this. Yeah. Okay. I got the Lavender Fog as a freebie from Love It. Purples are amazing. Yay, you got the awesome one for you then. Fantastic. Okay. Awesome. So we have that. All right, so we are going to go into some sets that we have for tonight for you guys with our products, and then we're just going to share a little bit about our amazing opportunity. And we do have a chance to do a fun little after party if you decide to stay with us for some extra product. One more thing I do want to show you as well is our eye makeup remover. So let me actually just put a bunch of stuff on the back of my hand right now to make a mess and just show you how awesome our eye makeup remover works, because that's going to be in one of the bundles. We'll even put some mascara on here. Oh, this is nasty. Okay. So I just made a big old mess on the back of my hand. We're going to let her dry so that way she gets sticky and set. Okay. And then I'm going to show you in a second how awesome our eye makeup remover is. All right, but first let me go through some of these specials that I made for you tonight. So if you like the idea of everything that I just did and you're like, it's time for a new eye look, you're going to get your fun little petite palette. Now, these are magnetic, so you can switch them out as much as you want. They pop in and out. I'll show that to you in a second. They fit 4 eyeshadows in them. That's everything that I worked out of today for your new eye look. You can get a waterproof eyeliner to go with it. They come in 4 different colors: black, brown, gray, and blue. So you can choose your color. And then we have our mascara. You get to choose whatever mascara is best for you. What's featured right here is our, well, it says Define and Lift, but it looks like our Great Heights. The Great Heights is what I have on my bottom lashes, and then our awesome eye makeup remover. So normally that's going to be $108. Tonight, you could grab your whole new eye look and every way to remove it for $87. That's going to save you $21. Okay. So that is our first set for you this evening. And then our second one is, you saw me use a little bit of that shimmer eyeshadow stick. I call this like the lazy, easy girl set right here, because you could just do this beautiful shimmer over your whole just lid, and you could just come in with a matte in that crease and call it just be done. Okay, as long as you're doing it in the right placement. They come in 5 different colors. They're glowy, they're beautiful for summer. So if that is more of the range you're wanting to go into, a creamy versus a powder, you could do the easy eye set. So you're gonna get 2 sticks of your choice, 1 mascara. It's just like literally you're going to get your eye makeup done in 5 minutes. So normally that would be $58. Tonight it would be $49, and you are going to save $9 when you get that as a set. Okay, so there's that. And then our last one is, who saw that brushes make a difference? Who saw we can't use the same brush for everything? Okay, so think of your brushes, you guys, as like the knives in your kitchen or the tools in your kitchen. They all do different things and they help it to be a lot easier. Okay. So this is going to be a brush set, specifically all eyeshadow brushes. Our eyeshadow brushes last forever. They're synthetic hair, so they do not make your skin itchy. They can go in wet or powder formulas. This would give you the all over eyeshadow brush, our crease brush, the smudger I did under the eye, the blending brush that if you do not have this in your repertoire, I don't know how you're doing your eyeshadow. To be honest, I think I talked about it with someone who wasn't using it, and then I was like, girl, open that up. And she was like, I don't know what I've been doing. Why have I not opened this up? The eyebrow eyeliner brush, you can do eyeliner. I use obviously the other side to do my brows. So this is buy 4, get 1 free. Normally it would be $60 for all 5. You're going to save $12 because that's the cost of each of the brushes. So that's going to bring it to only $48 for an entire new eyeshadow brush collection set. Can we just get real that if you were to go to MAC, you'd probably spend that on 1 brush? And these are the same quality. I'm someone who used to do makeup for a living, so you're going to have awesome, awesome brushes. Okay, so that is that one. Now I got to show you. Okay, look, all that. It's not moving, yay, but we're going to use our oil-free eye makeup remover. See how it separates? One's for regular, one is for waterproof. You shake it. It has lots of conditioners in it, so you're not tugging and pulling. I actually have to go somewhere after this, so it'll be something I use a Q-tip to remove this interesting eye, and we duplicate this one instead. We're gonna put it on a cotton pad like this, and look how easy, without tugging and pulling, even that mascara into my dry skin, that it removes all that. I mean, I don't know what you're doing to take off your mascara, because if you are still having the raccoon effect when you get into your shower or after you wash your face, we have just got to level up and not be creating more wrinkles. Okay. This is not going to tug and pull the lashes. It's not going to burn your eyeballs. So that is amazing. Okay. Our eye makeup remover. I do not use it for my whole face. If you want something for your face, you'd use our micellar water instead. Okay. So, are we at 3, Melissa? Okay. So why don't we do one more product giveaway? And then I'm going to tell you just a teeny bit about our Mary Kay opportunity. If it kind of piques your interest, you're going to have the ability to do an after party with us that will give some more product away. But after I go through this opportunity part will be our big giveaway. So you want to stay on, which is the shimmer eyeshadow stick, your eyeshadow, and mascara. So that's going to be fun after this one. And we're going to have a fun little poll here in a second too. Okay. So let's go ahead, Melissa, let's bring up that last prize right now of the just regular product giveaway one. Jessie Snyder. Okay, Jessie, you can let me know what you need for your eye makeup, but you got a good thing. So you probably want business tools. We just went shopping for business tools. So she's probably like, I'll tell you what I want from that bag you brought home from seminar. Okay, we got some fun stuff. All righty. Okay, ladies. So this is my favorite part. And I just got back from something called Mary Kay seminar. And I was literally getting to walk across stage in a gown, and we call it the Mary Kay Awards. Of basically, it's like the Academy Awards and the America's Beauty Pageant mixed together with pink glitter, and we get training and all this fun. And so I just got back from Fort Worth yesterday. And, you know, there's just some interesting things I heard that just even reignited me even more after these 14 years. And so I just want to tell you some of the women that we are looking for, of why maybe this opportunity, or you watch this and you're like, wow, I need to redo my whole makeup line, or, you know, I already used the products. Like, does it make sense to at least get a discount, or is there maybe something more? Okay. And so, you know, something that I'm not looking for is someone who's just already feeling like she'd be amazing at Mary Kay. That is not the woman I'm looking for, because guess what? I did not think I would be amazing. I did not think I could sell anything. I did not think that I would like this more than what I did. I honestly thought it was for my grandma. Okay. So I was not even close to thinking that. I'm looking for a woman who's looking to say, hey, there's something more inside of me, and I'm not living out to my full potential. And there's some gaps maybe in my life that I would like to increase. Maybe that's looking like, you know what, an extra $500 to $1,000 a month would make a big difference in my life. Maybe you're saying, hey, I need a little bit more flexibility for my family or just myself. You know how many women I talk to are like, I'm not taking care of myself. No self-care. What's that? I was just on a phone call with a mom who had 3 kids, and she's like, I don't know. I don't even wash my face if like some days. And I'm like, what? She's like, I just have so many kids. So maybe you're just craving more women in your life. Women who encourage you. I want you to think about this. Who in my life encourages me every day, who celebrates me when I win, who isn't jealous? Who's that woman in my life who believes in me more than I believe in myself? That's the kind of woman I want in your life. Or maybe there's something that you've always wanted for your life, and it's like this place where you're like, what would my superpower be? And I'm not really sure. And I just feel like I'm just not living it out to full potential of how I could contribute to others. Okay. So again, when I was at seminar, I was reminded that, you know, the women who become successful at this business aren't necessarily the ones who are just saying, hey, I came in and I'm the most confident and I'm the most talented, and I just went through that line and nothing went wrong in my life, and that's why that this is so easy for me. No. What I find is the women who do good at this, they're willing to learn. I want you to ask myself, am I someone who's willing to learn? Aren't we learning new things every day? I want you to say, am I someone who's coachable? Oh, I'm coachable. Okay. Am I willing to take action even if I don't have everything figured out? Okay. I love those women, right? We're not getting stuck in the perfectionism. We're just willing to be like, someone's going to teach me. Okay. Because I will teach you how to do the skincare. I will teach you how to sell the product. I will teach you how to connect with people. That is so teachable. That's easy for me. I'm just looking for the women who are saying, hey, I could take this opportunity and it could bless my life and it could transform me and it could allow me to be a cycle changer. So I want you to see these top 5 reasons. And I want you to be thinking about which one you think would impact your life the most. There's typically 5 things that I see that a Mary Kay, a person who wants to look at Mary Kay as a business value. And we're going to put up a poll after this. So are you someone who says, you know what? The number one reason of just that extra income, like you just mentioned, that extra $500 to $1,000 a month, it could be more than that, but just to get started, right? I want to pay off some debt. I want to travel. I want to be able to have a retirement backup plan. Are you that person? Just be thinking, just be storing them away. Or are you the freedom and flexibility gal? You're like, Brie, we're about to start the school year. I have 3 kids in 3 different schools. I'm a professional Uber driver. I work full time. I'm stressed. I do need the extra money, but where would it fit? I just need this to work in little increments around my life. Or are you the personal growth girl? You said, you know what? I don't know where I lost my sparkle. I don't know why I haven't felt like I've won in a long time. I don't know why I don't believe in myself, but man, if I could build my confidence and my leadership skills, communicate better, that would transform more than just income. That would transform my relationship with my husband, my kids, how I'm at my job, how I show up. Are you number 4? Connection. You're like, I did not have a woman like you just described that believes in me more than I believe in myself. Sometimes you might notice and look around and go, they're kind of pessimistic. They're sort of like, yeah, let's go for it together, right? And then we have the recognition, right? I love when women want a place to win and they're like, you know what? Just give me a goal, Brie. Give me a trip to earn. Give me a car to earn. Just affirm me and I will go to the heights of where this business will take me. So I'm going to put up a poll real quick and we're going to let you answer which one would be yours because I'm always just so curious. So I just launched it. So go ahead and you get to pick your top 2, which would impact your life the most right now if you could only choose 2. And I'll go over these a little bit more in that after party for those who might want to stay. And I'm going to give away, if you stay in that after party, as you guys are answering the questions as I'm looking in my office, you can either get some fun new lip glosses, or we could get you also your own, another little palette to put some eyeshadows in, okay? So we're going to have a fun little after party prize. I like customization. So it's looking like our top 3. We have a top 3 tie almost. Not everyone's answered yet, but we're looking at financial freedom, freedom and flexibility, and that personal growth. And honestly, the community and connection. We're tying. Everything's tying. Okay. All of them are pretty important, right? So this we can dive into a little bit more, maybe some questions you have or just how those areas work. I'm going to take a little screenshot of this so I don't forget what these results are right here. Okay. So again, let me just show you this real quick before we close this part out. If this was something you're like, I heard enough, that makes sense. Let me give it a try. These people would give me 50% off of my own products. So what's the worst that could happen? I wanted to show you what would come in the starter kit, just so you know what that next step would look like. Okay. And we do have a fun little signing bonus tonight. So what our starter kit comes with, we have a $125 option. This comes with over $400 worth of full-size products, skincare system, eye makeup remover, 5 CC creams, our charcoal mask, mascara, microdermabrasion. It comes with really cute receipts, comes with catalogs, a bag. I mean, you name it, you are completely set up that just like I can kind of show product and romance it and use it myself, you are ready to go. So that's $125. Then we have the eStart option, and that is going to be $35. So you're not going to get all the product in the kit, but it immediately makes you a consultant, immediately gives you a beautiful website, immediately gives you access to mentorship. And so if you're kind of on that place, you're like, this would change my life, but I don't even know how I'd have money to start. This is the place of just do this, and then we can add on to things later. Okay, so that would be the ways that you would start a Mary Kay business. Now go ahead, Melissa, let's just put up the fun signing bonus that we have for tonight. So if this is something that you decide to do, we have a little gift for you if you decide in the next 24 hours. And that is going to be one of our to-go sets. Now, I thought I had one near me, but this is going to be one of our time-wise miracle set to-go sets. It's going to give you a cleanser, a moisturizer, an SPF, and a nighttime recovery serum. And it's a $28 value. No, it's a $30 value now. We need to update that because they changed. So you're getting a better deal. It's basically girl math and you're getting free to sign up. So I'll show you them real quick here. This is what I just took on that trip to Fort Worth. And I take them on my camping trips. You guys, this will give me like 3+ weeks of a whole skincare system. How fun is that? So it's going to get you started right away or be your little travel kit. All righty. Well, thank you for learning a little bit more about that. And like I said, our after party, if you decide to stay, it'll only be 10 minutes. We can answer some questions for you, give away some more free products. But we're going to give away our final giveaway for being on our eyeshadow event tonight: an eyeshadow, a shimmer stick, and a mascara. And we're going to go ahead and spin that wheel. Did we need them to fill out anything else, Melissa, to be able to do that one, or we're okay? She said, oh, wait, let me check. So that way we can give that final giveaway. You guys, I really want you to like find me on social media, or that's my number, the one you text. And if you are playing with your eyeshadow, she's figuring out what we need to do, you send me a picture. I love when people send me a picture and are like, what do you think? And I love to see it. Okay. Melissa, are you adding people in, or do we need them to fill out? Did some people not fill out some things just before we do that last giveaway? Okay, go ahead with this form right here. If you did not have a chance, if you already did it and it looks familiar, leave it alone. But if you didn't, this is the specific link. I know I was talking and I didn't remind you that you want to fill out to get into that last grand prize giveaway. It's in the comments right there. So make sure you click it. I'm clicking on it right now. It's really fast. This just kind of tells you, I'll share my screen as you guys are looking at it. It's gonna tell us if you're a consultant or a guest, which collection was your favorite out of the 3 that we talked about tonight. If you feel like you needed to learn a little bit more about our Mary Kay opportunity aside from the after party, would you like to do that? If that would help you and get some free stuff. And then just your interest level of doing something like this. Okay. So that is going to get you, us just to kind of help you. So, and then you'll be entered into that main giveaway. So that's the one you're going to want to do right now if you haven't had a chance to do it yet. And then as we're just giving people a second to fill that out, is there any last questions about eyeshadow stuff before we go into our after party? Do you think you're in? Perfect, Julia. Any eyeshadow? Quick recap on what is the eyeshadow stick. So there's 5 different ones. I don't know why I only have 2 next to me. They go on as like a cream, but can blend. You can just use them alone. You can use them as primers. You can mix them in with the powders. And I love it because if I'm running out the door, but I kind of still want to look cute, I can smear a light one across just my lid. I can do a little dark one right here in the crease. It looks like you did a lot. And they're really easy. They don't move. Once you blend them in, they stay on. So it's just basically a cream eyeshadow stick. I went to the dock and it disconnected from there. I just wanted to say something. Okay. What quick recap, did you gravitate towards colors that bring out your eye color, or do you only stick with colors that match your skin tone? Oh, Jeannie, that is a great question. Sorry, my child will not leave me alone. I don't know how to answer this, Jeannie, because, okay, for your eye color, you want to do the opposite color. So with blue eyes, that's why I had been doing warm eyeshadow colors my whole life. But then I realized that too warm was really making me look really kind of sick and tired in pictures when I look at them, and not as bright and young. So now I figured out how to lean towards cool tones that are maybe opposite. So for me, that would be in pinks or browns or whatever. For me, not maybe doing green colors for me wouldn't work, right? So that gets a little bit more complicated, and that's why maybe booking a one-on-one session with your consultant or your director would be helpful. So then I could do a whole other class on that. Okay. Do we have it ready, Melissa? But I struggled with that for a long time, Jeannie. I was like, I'm using shiny penny because it's the opposite of my eye color. Go ahead. I will write that down. Alice, you are going to get the shimmer eyeshadow stick, one eyeshadow, and a mascara. Congratulations. We are so excited for you. Wow, ladies. Thank you for joining tonight. I hope this was helpful. I love what you want to learn, because literally this whole class was surrounded around multiple guests and consultants saying, do you have an eyeshadow tutorial? Eyeshadow tutorial. And there's so many things we could do with eyeshadow that we can keep building on, but these were at least some tips to just change it up immediately with lifted and looking more younger. Well, if you are needing to pop off, you of course can pop off, but if you are wanting to hang out with us for that after party, just to learn for just a couple of more minutes about our Mary Kay opportunity, and maybe had some questions and maybe had some interest and want to get some more freebies, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up to share my screen, and we have some feedback for you, and you're going to get some entries towards all of this giveaways that I'm going to do in this one for answering some of these questions in here. So what impressed you the most? Just a couple of things that you might have heard about our Mary Kay business opportunity tonight. Go ahead and put that in the chat. If you're hanging out with us, not popping off for the after party, tell us, guests specifically. And Melissa, I know you're going to be watching for their answers, but if you could maybe help in the beginning, just tell me if they are in the chat, because when I'm sharing my screen right now, I can't see it. The question would be, what impressed you the most? What impressed you the most? And then let me see. Do we have anything in the chat yet with that, Melissa? I just
Not yet.
Oh, sorry. I just thought it was you. Okay. So the next thing that you're going to want to put in there after what impressed you the most, and I know sometimes that takes like a hot second to answer, is what would impact you the most. We did a little bit of this with the questionnaire, but I want you to just choose one right now to put in the comments. One of these six. Is it the extra income, flexibility, confidence, community, personal growth, or recognition and prizes? And then Melissa, I see the chat, I think, moving. Tell me if there's anything added that we need, or if you're adding to it.
So some said like the lifting effect. Sabrina said the female camaraderie, extra income, flexibility.
As you guys are writing down your extra income, I want to know in the next 30 to 90 days, what would extra income impact the most for you right now? Like, what would be like, whoo, relief. I feel like I can breathe. My shoulders can come from my ears down to a normal place. Like, what is that it would fill in the gap for you with extra income? And then what would you need to know? What is something that you feel like you would need to know a little bit more about how our business works to be like, you know what, whether this is for me or not for me, I just have clarity and confidence to make a decision either way. And this is the part that I'm going to really focus on tonight, of answering those questions for you. And I get to be transparent. You get to ask me anything about my life or the 14 years I've been doing this. So that is going to be our last question in there. So let me see here. So paying off my debt, paying down debt, is there training to help get started? Great question, Janelle. Really quick, going back to paying off the debt. Lulu, Sabrina, anyone else, if a debt is that, I just want you to kind of check in with yourself and go, if I was debt free, then what would I choose to put money towards? Or how would I feel? Or how would I wake up? Or how would I treat my day differently if that was like gone? And like, this is just rhetorical, but like also, is there any other way to pay it off without having to go? I just lost it. Is there any other way to pay it off than having to go get some 25 to 30 hour week job? That completely like takes me out of like the things that are important to me. Sabrina said more farm animals. I was with Sabrina in Fort Worth a couple days ago, and I think we need an emu. Okay. My daughter's college or a nice vacation to South Korea. I love that. Very cool. Okay, so let's go back to, is there the questions, right? So what questions would you need answered? Is there training to help you get started? 100%. And I think that this is one of the biggest things that sets Mary Kay apart from a lot of other companies. And we were even talking about it at our dinner the other night as we were leaving seminar, of how much resources and a blueprint to success that you are given. So I think that people assume I'm going to sign up and I'm going to have to figure out all of this on my own. And that probably feels scary and overwhelming. And you're like, I don't even know where to start. But what if you imagined we linked arms with you? We made a business plan with you of what activity looked like. We helped you with what to say. We helped you with your first appointments. And you knew that there was an entire website of all of our tools and resources and training, and that we were at your fingertips. Think of how you use Chat GPT. Who uses Chat? Okay. Think of how you ask it questions. I asked it a question today about a freaky spider nest I found on the branch today. Freaked me out. I didn't need to know what it had to say about that. I was like, what is this? So I use it like my friend. What if you knew you had us at your fingertips, just like you use that about anything with this business? That's what's available for training and guidance. Okay. I'm impressed by the conversation about the seminar. I'm impacted to fill in the gap on having money to use it for bills, and it needs to have to treat myself with a reward. Yes. You know, I find so many women say, I'm going to take care of the kids. I'm going to take care of the animals. I'm going to take care of my spouse. I'm going to take care of all these other people. But like, I want to also teach women you can do all of those things, but where are you also putting the oxygen mask on yourself first? Where are you going? I'm doing a little something for me, because if I'm not loving myself or respecting myself enough to do those things, then the people around me aren't going to either. You've got to fill your cup up. It's necessary, right? How do you do my shop letting customers order online? We have an awesome link with our website. I'm not sure if this is a consultant, but as a guest, if you're asking this, it's so nice because it takes about 5 minutes on the consultant end to set it up. It's included with us signing up. You send that link to people and they're able to just order and check out. In about 2 days, you get your profit from the company. So it's super, super simple and fun. Great questions. All right, ladies, anything else you would have a question or something you feel like you would need to know? If we have any guests that are left on here right now, how do you do when you suck at self-motivation? That's a good question. So I read in a book one time, in a vision book and in a goal book, that you cannot just have one goal or one reason. Because if you do, when life distractions, good or bad, come around you, it's going to be very easy to weigh you down and to distract you. But if you build up enough compelling reasons for yourself, how it's going to affect your life, how it's going to affect other people's lives, how would it affect my kids? How would it affect my husband? I just watched women come on the stage because of a decision that they made enough compelling reasons that I watched these women who brought their babies home in cars that they had earned now be grown-ups on the stage at seminar who changed the entire trajectory of how their kids think about the world and money and the relationships that they chose because mom decided to have enough reasons to compel herself to be bigger than she ever thought she could be. So when you start making a list, I'm not even talking 10 reasons. I'm talking you've got to sell yourself out on 50 plus reasons when you're going after something bigger of all the ways that it's going to affect your life, the way that it's going to make you feel. And then we're going to start on small habits because most women are right here at point A and they want to get over here at point C, which is the goal. But the in between is where it gets a little hazy. So I want you just to even think about it. If today you weren't working out at all, would you go do a 2-hour workout routine in the gym? Absolutely not. But what if I said, you know what, tomorrow just go on a walk for 10 minutes. And you know what, just do that every day this week and just build trust with yourself. It's the building trust with yourself and building the habits that fills in the gap where motivation is going to fizzle out sometimes. Just how we have habits in other places in our life. And I would also remove suck at self-motivation because if I say that I suck at it, my brain is just going to always believe that I do. So I'm going to also change the verbiage. I'm going to say I can grow in my self-motivation. Perfect. Okay. All righty. Any other questions? I'll give you guys one more minute or so, and then we'll wrap up the people left on with us. So that way we can give away our last little fun prize for those who stayed with us for the after party. That way I can go fix my eyeshadow before I have to go do something at my congregation tonight. Will you do a contour party later? Yes, I love doing contour. We will 100% do a contour class soon. And we'll probably do a brow class soon because we have some brow things coming out too of how to do eyebrows. So, you know, if there's ever something you want to learn about, please tell your director and she can tell me and we'll create those workshops for you. Okay. Because it really helps me. All right, let's go ahead and give our last prize giveaway. Great questions in here. Janelle, congratulations. I love it. Sabrina, great question. And I just realized there's been 2 Sabrinas on here. There's been Sabrina, who's a consultant, and then Sabrina, who's a guest. And Sabrina H, I'm remembering you are the guest of Jesse, and I've been mixing the 2 of you up all night, not seeing the last piece. Okay. So I'm like, one I was with in Fort Worth and one I was not, and now I'm seeing the difference. Okay. Anyways, thanks for staying on. Super excited for you guys to get your presents. Thanks for learning a little bit more. Send me your eyeshadow looks, consultants and guests. I can't wait to see them change. And I hope you have a beautiful evening. Bye, everyone.